everyone, welcome back to my channel. On today's video I am going to talk about things that surprised me when I moved to Norway. So basically things that I was not expecting to find here, that I was not used to it, or just things I never thought I would see here. I think I'm going to do this in two parts, so this is part one because I just have a very long list. If you don't know this, I am Portuguese from Portugal, but I have moved to Norway. Okay, let's start. And I'm going to start with the fact that here in Norway, everywhere you look on the street, every corner, every parking lot, you will definitely see a Tesla. If it's just one Tesla, then it's strange, you know? Sometimes they are parked in a row and maybe one drives through and you're like, another one. And when I moved to Norway, this surprised me so much because in Portugal I didn't even know what a Tesla was. No one talked about Teslas at that time. I actually think it's a country that has more Teslas, which is crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like famous for that. And it's also famous for all the electric cars in general, not only Teslas. And actually the city center of Oslo is being transformed into only transports and electric car accessible. So if you don't own an electric car, in a few years you won't be able to go to the city center with your car, which I think it's amazing. Yoo-hoo for Norway. Next is that if you are a couple or if you sleep in the same bed here in Norway, you will not share the same duvet. You will sleep with two separate duvets in the same bed, and sometimes they even have different duvet covers, so you know exactly which one is yours and which one is not. For me it was strange. I had never seen that before in anywhere else. If in your country this is also normal, just write it down in the comments. Another thing is that here in Norway it's not so common to see people in high heels. In Portugal it is very common. Even if you're not going out, if you're just going to work, many people wear their high heels. But here in Norway, flats are trendy, especially sneakers. You know, you see a lot of girls with like normal clothes and then with gym sneakers, which is cool, you know. Next thing is when you go to a clothes store here in Norway, the store assistants, so the person who's there to help you, do not help you as much as at least as in Portugal I was used to. Because for example, if I'm going to, I don't know, a H&M in Portugal and I'm in the dressing room and the number of the pants I'm trying is too big and I don't want to, you know, dress up again, go out and get a different pair and then come back and maybe lose my spot or leave my stuff there, I would just call an assistant and ask her for a different trouser number. But here in Norway I tried to do that and they kind of like very politely tell you that that's not their job. Maybe in more expensive stores they told me that that can happen, so you have a more personal assistant help, but in like common stores that will not happen. Another thing is regarding nudity, and this was very surprising to me because in Portugal when you go to a beach, bikinis can be quite small, you know, people don't cover so much on the beach. A lot of people do topless. But here bikinis are quite big, people do not do topless on the beach. So I was expecting it to be a bit more conservative in terms of nudity, but I rapidly realized that people are very comfortable being naked in front of each other when it's like, for example, gym lockers or even in many spas and saunas. It is obligatory to go naked, like completely naked in front of other people, and most people think that's okay. And also in TV series or shows, they're so at ease with showing body parts or talking about it more than I was expecting to. I have no problem with that. It's how you came to the world, it's your bodies, nothing to be ashamed of, so for me, no problem. Next thing is, in Norway, it's not very normal to have a microwave. this was a complete shock for me. I was not expecting this at all. I realized it very soon because we rented an apartment here when we moved to Oslo, and there was no microwave included in the kitchen, which I thought it was weird, but you know, it was a very cheap rental, so I thought, it's a small apartment, they didn't put a microwave. But I, you know, started to realize that most people do not have a microwave. I don't know why. If you're Norwegian and you're watching this and you know why, write it down in the comment below, because I have no idea, but they do not use it. And I basically have to start living, getting used to the fact that I don't have a microwave to heat up water, heat up milk, melt butter, heat up like leftovers of food from the day before. Now I have to heat up everything in a pan or sometimes in the oven. Now I am very used to it and I don't miss a microwave so much, but at the beginning it was a bit strange. And even when I have friends coming over from a different country, or even my family, they all ask like, oh, where is your microwave? Like, no microwaves in Norway. Another thing that for me, it wasn't a very big surprise, but a lot of people ask me this in the comments, so I guess it's like a big question for a lot of you. Is that everyone here speaks English, fluent English, very good English, at least in Oslo. I've traveled a bit in Norway and I had no problem. I also think people speak really good English, but you never know. Most Norwegians have a British accent, which I think is so cool. It surprised me in a way that children and older people speak very good English as well. The last thing to finish is I'm going to talk about mops. Yep, mop, like the thing you use to clean your floor in your house. And I know this is weird, but in Portugal, the type of mop we use is like a stick, right? But then at the end, it's like a group of strings all together like this, and then you clean the floor, and then you have a bucket with a basket inside, and you put the mop in there and you like turn it so all the water goes out of it, and then you clean again. So this is the mop. I was used to it, and when I moved to Norway, I realized that what they use here is, it's like a long rectangular fabric. It goes into a metal structure that's stuck to the stick, and you clean it kind of like horizontally, you know, more like flat. So that's what I use now in Norway, and I had never seen this before in Portugal. I have no idea if it exists. I'm sure it exists, but I don't think it's so normal to use. And here it's very normal, and it's what I use now. I just thought that was interesting to know. I don't know why. So these were all the things, well, not all the things, half of the things that surprised me when I came to Norway. As I told you, I have a long list of things, so there's much more I haven't talked about here. If you would like me to make a second part of this video, just give it a massive thumbs up so I can see if there are a lot of you interested to see a second part of or not. I hope you had an amazing weekend, and I'll see you guys next week with another video. Bye!